In 2020, when we were going through lockdowns and the COVID virus was dominating the news, both mainstream and social, I was struggling with depression and anxiety. The events made me feel out of control, so I was constantly checking the media, again, both mainstream and social, to check on what was happening. This was not good for my mental health. My husband told me to stop reading, but as I said to him, how could I control events if I didn't read about them? It was skewed logic, I know. So my husband then encouraged me to focus on my controllables. After all, I couldn't control the virus or the government's response to it, or even the media's response to it. But I could control my actions. So I asked my son to block Twitter on my phone and the rest of the news, and I stopped reading the news. I stopped going and scrolling through my phone, and I came off Instagram. The results were unexpectedly brilliant. Not only did my anxiety reduce, but I also became more focused. I could write for hours at a time without picking up my phone, although in the first week I noticed just how much I'd pick up my phone. The habit was just ingrained within me. I vowed never to become so obsessed with my phone and social media again. But it does creep back, doesn't it? A few months ago, I saw a tweet from a writer who was getting depressed about the state of the world. She was constantly watching the news or reading about issues because she felt like she should stay abreast of the coverage. The news we consume is often from all over the world, just the bad bits as well, and it's too much. It's just far too much for us to deal with. News outlets are businesses. It's in their best interest to share negative stories so you keep coming back. Clickbait is used, and Twitter, when you scroll through and see the thoughts and sometimes anxieties of hundreds of people, is too much. Especially for those people like myself who soak up others' emotions like a sponge. So please give yourself a break from the noise. In issue 44 of Breathe magazine, an article suggests to give your mind a mini break. I completely agree, especially at this time of the year when it's darker, colder, and we have pressures with Christmas coming up. There's mounting evidence to suggest that not giving the brain a break from processing information can adversely affect its ability to concentrate and be creative. And in How to Break Up with Your Phone, the author, Catherine Price, says, "We've never stopped to think about which features of our phones make us feel good and which makes us feel bad. Or even what our devices might be doing to our brains." So these are my suggestions. Create boundaries between yourself and the news and social media. Be aware of what makes you feel bad. If the news is affecting your mental health, then stop reading about it for a while. Stop seeking it out. Stop watching it. The earth will not stop turning just because you're taking a break from keeping yourself abreast of current events. I promise you. Get outside, look at the horizon or look into the distance to give your eyes a break from the screen. Search out nature, look up, look around you, spot little details, take it all in. Read, grab a book, something cozy rather than something that'll get your heart racing through psychological tension or through making you feel like you need to work or write or create right then and right now. If you can, read an actual book rather than something on your phone or iPad. Transport yourself to another world. Maybe put your phone in a different room. In the Breathe article, it cites a study that discovered if your phone was on mute or silent but still nearby, your brain will be actively engaged in the effort of not looking at it. So even though you're not scrolling, you're still aware it's there and your brain is stopping you from looking at it. It's still got that heightened sense that it's nearby. Read a magazine, something that's not going to induce feelings of comparison or make you feel bad about your own life. Listen to classical music. I discovered the Royal Philharmonic playing Disney songs on Spotify. It was so joyful. As soon as Let It Go came on, played by the orchestra, my shoulders dropped about 2 inches. It was amazing. Do something creative. Colouring books for adults, gardening, baking, crafting, journaling, anything to keep your mind and hands occupied so you don't automatically reach for your phone. Have a tidy up. Get rid of stuff that doesn't fill you with joy. Whenever I tidy my office and desk, I feel calmer and more in control. Take a deep breath from the diaphragm, not just shallow chest breathing. Then get back outside and surround yourself in nature again. Notice the seasons, the sharp biting temperature making your hands turn blue, the leaves dropping off the trees gently right in front of your eyes, the catkins on the trees, the cat watching you through the trees, the buds waiting patiently for spring, the moss on the tree bark, the colours of the leaves beneath your feet, the pops of unexpected colour. Look up, look around, take notice in the small details and leave your phone. I'm not saying give it up, just leave it for a little while. Give your brain a chance to breathe.